Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are learning Cambridge IGCSE grading 9 to 1 Biology Paper 1 multiple choice code. We have this code and we have May-June 2025 paper. Please verify the code before we proceed. We have already solved 30 questions in our previous videos. If you want to learn those 30 questions, I would request you to check the videos on the channel, because in this video we will start from question 31 and we will finish up to question 40. We have question 31. Question 31 says, what can reduce the transmission of HIV? What is HIV? HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. Transmission, how it is transmitted, transferred, and what can reduce its transmission. We have got 4 options: clean water supplies, hygienic food preparations, use of condoms, and the D option is sewage treatment. I have notes for you. Please read. Human immunodeficiency virus is primarily transmitted through specific bodily fluids. So, through body fluids, this virus is transmitted. So, body fluids have nothing to do with clean water. It has nothing to do with hygienic food preparations, as well as it has nothing to do with sewage treatment. It is actually use of condoms, because body fluids can be transferred when the human body is in contact with another body directly. So we can reduce its transmission by using condoms. So C is our correct answer. We have next question, question number 32. What are alternative forms of genes called? Alternative forms of genes, what are they known as? Are they alleles or chromosomes, or genotypes or phenotypes? Here I have notes for you. Alternative forms of a gene found at a specific location on a chromosome. Alternative forms of gene are found at a specific location on a chromosome. For example, the gene for flower color might have one allele for purple flowers and another allele for white flowers. So a gene has 2 alleles. So alternative form of gene is called alleles. It has nothing to do with the 3 options: chromosomes, genotypes, and phenotypes. So correct option for this is alleles. You should know this by heart. You should know this knowledge thoroughly. Alternative forms of a gene are found at a specific location on a chromosome. I hope you will keep this in mind. We have question number 33. The question states, humans produce 2 types of earwax, either wet or dry. Which row describes the variation in human earwax? We have got a table here. Type of variation, and it is controlled by. Type of variation can be continuous variation or discontinuous variation. So how to find this answer? You must know, if you look at the notes provided, earwax type, wet or dry, is an example of discontinuous variation. So with this knowledge, with this information, this option and this option is already ruled out because it is a type of discontinuous variation. And then you need to find either C or D. So it is controlled by genes and environment or genes only. This trait is controlled by a single gene with 2 alleles, meaning it is controlled by genes only and not environment. So you need to keep this in mind, that discontinuous variation is controlled by genes only. I hope you have understood. So the correct answer is D, not C. So we have next question, question number 34. Question number 34 states, giraffes are mammals that have long necks. This enables them to eat leaves from tall trees. One theory to explain how giraffes develop long necks is natural selection. Basically, this concept belongs to your biology topic, natural selection. To give you a short revision or short idea about natural selection, I have written notes here. Natural selection explains that variations within a population, variation means changes. Changes within a population affect an individual's ability to survive and reproduce in their environment. Means because of natural selection phenomena, individual actually loves to survive and reproduce, or individual or any population, what do? They try to find that thing that is suitable for them to live easily, to live in a better survival condition. Which statement is part of explanation for the development of long necks in giraffes by natural selection? Which four statements have been given? Which statement is correct based on natural selection phenomena? Number 1, giraffes with longer necks were better adapted to the environment than giraffes with shorter necks. Number 2, humans selected giraffes with the longest necks and bred them together. Number 3, there was no competition for food. And number 4, there were no trees in the environment. So this option and this option, they are completely wrong. They have nothing to do with natural selection phenomena. And humans selected giraffes with the longest necks. This option is also wrong because natural selection explains that variations within a population affect an individual's ability, that this is directly proportional to giraffes themselves. So actually giraffes developed longer necks so that they can be well adapted to the environment than giraffes with shorter necks. So this is correct answer. Which statement is part of explanation for development of long necks in giraffes? So giraffes, according to natural selection, they developed long necks, okay, so that they can get more fruit from more trees or tall trees, and they can survive and reproduce in their environment. I hope you have got the idea. We have next question, question number 35. It is a question of maybe general knowledge or a question of deep study or a question of great knowledge. Let's find it out. Alpine plants grow on mountains at high altitude. Altitude means height. Alpine plants can only grow for a few months because they are covered in snow for most of the year. Alpine plants. To solve this kind of question, you should know the features of different types of plants. The question is, what are most likely to be adaptive features of alpine plants? 4 options have been given. Do they flower quickly and produce seeds quickly? Do they flower quickly and produce seeds slowly? Or do they flower slowly and produce seeds quickly? Or do they flower slowly and produce seeds slowly? Notes have been mentioned here. I can read them for you. Alpine plants have a very short growing season, sometimes only a few months long. Why? Because on mountains, the temperature remains very low and they are covered in snow for most of the year. Because they are covered in snow for most of the year, to ensure their survival and reproduction in such a harsh environment. Harsh environment means cold environment. What do? They must complete their life cycle during this brief window of time. This brief window of time means when there are months when there is less snow. When there is less snow. So they need to finish their life cycle. And life cycle means producing flowers and producing seeds. Both things they have to finish fast. So they flower quickly and produce seeds quickly. This is your correct answer. All the 3 options have one quickly, one slowly, slowly, quickly. So 3 of them are wrong and this is correct option. I hope you have understood and you have got how is to find adaptive feature of alpine plants. Question number 36. A food web is here for us. A diagram that shows a food web. Now here is the food web. To solve these questions, dear students, you should have great knowledge how to find primary consumers, how to find secondary consumers, and how to find tertiary consumers. I have solved this question for you people along with some notes that you can see on your screen. But what I believe that it will not be sufficient or enough to teach you the whole concept. For that, if you want to learn the whole concept of food web, please mention in the comment section and I will make a video for you. Anyways, come back to the question itself and ask which animal is a secondary consumer. We have 4 options. We have black fly larva, we have diving beetle, we have frog, and we have pike. Look at the food web. Black larva. Where is black larva? Black larva is here. Where is diving beetle? Diving beetle is moving from here to here. We have frog and pike. We have frog here and pike here. Always food web starts from the bottom. As you can see, alga. Alga is the producer. Black larva. Upon alga. One step above producers. Primary consumers, because they feed directly on alga. So this whole row is primary consumer. Diving beetle. Diving beetle is the one that feed on primary consumers. Diving beetle. These are primary consumers. So this is secondary consumer. Diving beetle will be secondary consumer. So here is our answer. Frog and pike. Frog and pike. Diving beetle. This row belongs to secondary consumer. So the one that feeds on Secondary consumers are known as tertiary consumers. Water spider, frog, and pike are tertiary consumers or higher as they feed on secondary consumers. I hope you have got the idea how to find your desired answer of secondary consumer. So diving beetle here is secondary consumer as it feeds on primary consumer. This is primary consumer. B is correct answer. We have got next question, and that is question 37. Here we have the graphs shown the number of herbivores in a habitat over a period of time. We have got 4 graphs A, B, C, D. At time X, the carnivores are removed from the habitat. Imagine this is a forest, this is a forest, this is also a forest, and this is also a forest. Here is number of herbivores, yani the number of herbivores in a graph, here number of herbivores in a graph, here as well and here as well. This is the time X. For instance, this was the time when carnivores were present, and at this time carnivores were removed, 0 carnivores. Same here, carnivores were present, and here 0 carnivores. Same way here, carnivores were present, and at this point 0 carnivores. Here carnivores were present, and at point X, as stated in the question, the carnivores were removed. So which graph shows the effect of this? Effect of what? Effect of removing the carnivores on the number of herbivores. Now dear students, this is a question of general understanding. This is a question of your temperament, your understanding, your concept. We all know that carnivores eat herbivores. If you know the concept, that of food chain, then you can solve this question. Imagine here, this is a forest. Here, when in a forest, number of herbivores was balanced. You can see the line. Number of herbivores was balanced or stable, likely due to a balance with carnivore population. And when at time X carnivores were removed, then the number of herbivores increased, because then there was no carnivores that ate herbivores. See, so this seems to be a correct option. But before circling it, we can have a look at the others also. But here, the balanced approach before X, and then graph went up. Ideal increase in herbivores. Here, imagine we can consider that, okay, fine. Earlier herbivores were more in number, but when carnivores were not there, herbivores should have gone up, not down. So this is wrong. Same way here, after X, after point X, when there was no herbivores, when there was no carnivores, how herbivores declined? No, wrong. Same way here, when there was no carnivores, herbivores became dead. How? It is not making sense. So according to this hypothesis, according to this, search or understanding, the correct answer for this question is A. When before X, herbivores and carnivores were in balance, but after X, after removal of carnivores, herbivores increased. So we have next question, and that is question 38. Question says, some statements about food production are listed. Okay, let's see. First statement is agricultural machinery allows the efficient use of larger areas of land. Yani with the help of machinery, larger areas of land can be used. Absolutely correct. Who would say it is wrong? No one would say. Number 2, herbicides, which are actually chemicals to kill weeds. All right. Herbicides increase the competition of crop plants with weeds. Weeds, the small plants that are grown with actual crop. We use herbicides to kill weeds. If we use herbicides to kill weeds, then how is there competition? There is no competition anymore. There is no increase in the competition. Why? Because by removing weeds, herbicides reduce competition. When there are no weeds, then there is no competition between actual crop plant with small plants. Yes or no? So statement 2 is wrong. Statement 3, selective breeding improves production in livestock. Absolutely correct. Because selective breeding, what does selective breeding do? Selective breeding allows, or it is a process where organisms with desirable traits are chosen to produce the next generation. So it improves, yes. For this you should know what is selective breeding. It is a process where organisms with desirable traits are chosen to produce the next offspring. So about food production, which statements are correct? Statement 1 and 3. So here 1 and 3 only is our correct answer. I hope you have understood how to find this. We have next question, question number 39. Question says, what is one way endangered species can be conserved? Endangered species can be saved. Conserved means saved. So what is the answer? Growing monocultures, or over harvesting, reducing biodiversity, or using seed banks? This is a question of general understanding. This is a question of general knowledge. Growing monoculture. Mono means one. Mono means one. So if we grow more, or if we grow more crops, if we grow more crops of one nature, it means we are putting more species in danger. So this answer is wrong. Over harvesting. It is also a major cause of species endangerment. It is not a conservation, not a saving process. Reducing biodiversity. This is completely opposite to saving. This is completely opposite to safety. So the fourth option is seed banks. This is correct option. This is a method to conserve where seeds from a wide variety of plants, including endangered species, are collected and then stored in a secure temperature controlled environment. All right, let me tell you once again. It is a method, seed banks, it is a method to conserve where seeds from a wide variety of plants, including endangered species, are collected and stored in secure temperature controlled environment. I hope you know this basic information and you may be able to solve it. We have last question, question number 40. The question is that the table shows the features of 4 different types of bacteria. You have to identify which type of bacteria would be the most useful to use for biotechnology. Let me tell you that bacteria for biotechnology are most useful if they can produce the desired product and they can produce in large quantities. For this, they should have a high reproduction rate as well as they should have high ability to make required complex molecules. Both of these things should be high. We have reproduction rate per number of cells division or cell divisions per hour, and we have ability to make complex molecules. Two factors we have. Based on these two factors, I have written information and notes for you that both of these things should be high in number and comparatively to each other. We have 4 bacteria, bacteria A and its reading, bacteria B and its reading, bacteria C as well as bacteria D. If you compare all of them, you can see that this one has the highest reproduction rate per number of cell divisions per hour. And here it has also high ability. So based on this observation, we can say that D is our correct answer, because the most useful bacteria for biotechnology will be or can only be when it can produce high quality and large quantities, as well as it should have high reproduction rate and ability. And we can only find that thing in option D. That was all about this paper. I hope you have learned 40 questions and their solutions in great detail. I really tried to help you a lot. If you have liked the videos, please press the like button and please subscribe the channel, as we will be uploading and teaching more papers, more Cambridge papers of all classes. Share these videos with your friends, as these are the right sources for you and for them to learn. These are the sources that can help a student to get a quick and fast revision along with a lot of knowledge, extra knowledge and techniques to solve the questions. See you all in the next videos. Till then, keep learning and keep shining, as this is the only way to progress in life. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.